Hello dear students, this is Vaddikaslu Tota. Students call me as CVK sir, founder director at Prepalai. Finally, after so many years of offline teaching experience, I'm here in front of you all on YouTube. I've been greatly inspired by the amazing teachers and vibrant students community on YouTube. Now onwards, I want to contribute by sharing my knowledge with you all, and let's make this journey most memorable. Ionic equilibrium, one of the most difficult chapter in physical chemistry. Many students asked me, requested me, sir, can you keep a class regarding ionic equilibrium, polyprotic acids, pH metric curves, all these things. So today I'm going to solve one of the most important JEE advanced level question regarding ionic equilibrium. This question involves pH metric curves and as well as the mixture of polyprotic acids, amphoteric species and extra. And this is really interesting. And after solving this question, I'm pretty sure you are going to rock in this ionic equilibrium concepts. Right, let us start. Let us consider first the graph. Let us understand the graph, which is most important. So the pH metric curves, definitely one question guarantee they will ask in JEE Advanced. So let us focus on this segment. So if you consider here, the volume of NaOH versus pH, right? So they have given total 20 ml of polyprotic acid whose concentration is 0.1 molar. Now we are titrating with 0.1 molar NaOH, means concentration remains same, 20 ml. Each one is releasing 3 H plus ions because it is a triprotic acid, 3 H plus ions, same concentration we are using for the titration. So that's why 3 times of the volume it will take for the complete neutralization of triprotic acid. But during this neutralization phenomena, how the pH will vary, that's what we will try to understand by using this graph. Right. So now let us start this thing. First equivalence point corresponds to B. So why first equivalence point it's coming at B? See, we already know that 20 ml of 0.1 molar H3A requires 20 ml of 0.1 molar of NaOH for the first H plus ion neutralization. So that's called first equivalence point. So all of you are well aware of pH metric curves. Otherwise, I will please request in comment box. I will take the class clearly on or in detail class on pH metric curves and the variation of pH along with the volume of acid or base during the titrations. So now I hope you are already aware of pH metric curves. Based upon that, I am just moving forward. So here if you take it, this is the first equivalence point, right? So whenever equivalence points are there, there is a sudden jump in pH. And here the first equivalence point corresponds to this B, point B, second equivalence point, point D, third equivalence point, point F. Now, so what is the significance of this point A, point C, point E? So most important. So initially if you consider, the pH almost remains constant till the time equivalence point comes. There is a slight change, slight increase. The reason is whenever we are titrating NaOH versus the weak acid and strong base during the titration, every time you will get the buffer, right? So buffer means you know, right? Buffer is a solution which resists the change in pH. So that's why change in pH is very, very less till that time the equivalence point. Means till that time buffer is continuously forming, right? So after the equivalence point once reached, there is a sudden jump in pH. That's how at 20 means this is the half equivalence point, 20 is the first equivalence point. At this point is known as half equivalence point, right? So at first half equivalence point A, let us check it. What is the speciality? What is the pH of this solution at first equivalence point? Let us consider at first equivalence point A, H3A plus NaOH gives rise to NaH2A plus H2O. So milli-equivalence, before if you take it 20 millimoles, 20 ml of 0.1 molar, and then N factor here is only 1, we will take it because first H plus ion only is undergoing neutralization phenomena. and then NaOH, N factor is 1 obviously. So when you are taking 20 into 0.12 milliequivalents and here 1 milliequivalent of NaOH, because half equivalence point means the moment when you are adding 1 equivalent of NaOH to triprotic acid whose total equivalents, milliequivalents are 2. So then, milliequivalents at a point, a half equivalence point if you take it. So half of this weak triprotic acid will react to form its corresponding salt and remaining half remains excess unreacted. So there is a weak acid and its conjugate base. Can you guys guess it? Weak acid and conjugate base will form what? Buffer. Acidic buffer. That too with the highest buffer capacity. Sir, why sir highest buffer capacity at half equivalence point? That we know already in ionic equilibrium again. Here, so the most important point what you need to learn is here that during the titration of weak acid versus strong base, there will be a formation of acidic buffer. At a half equivalence point, there is a formation of acidic buffer which indicates, according to Henderson's equation, we know that pH is equal to pKa plus log of salt by acid. This is for pH of acidic buffer, right? So now let us consider at pH of the solution at point A, that is equal to pKa1 plus log of H2A minus divided by H3A. And then pH at A is equal to pKa1 plus log of, we know H2A minus formed from that first reaction at half equivalence point is 1 milliequivalent. And then here also I am taking 1 milliequivalent of acid left as unreacted. So finally log 1 it will become, log 1 is 0. So pH at A is equal to pKa1. Right? And then from the graph, if you take it, at this half equivalence point, the pH corresponding to this half equivalence point, take this 10 ml and this is the half equivalence point, right? So then you draw one vertical line and then from there you take it corresponding pH. That pH is equal to your pKa1. Means from the graph you can conclude pKa1 is equal to pH, that is pH is equal to 4. If pKa1 is equal to 4, then Ka1 is equal to 10 power minus 4. Right? Good. So now similarly half equivalence points C and E, pKa2 is equal to pH which is corresponds to point E, that is equal to 8, pKa3 that is pH at a point E, that is equal to 12. Finally Ka2 is equal to 10 power minus 8 because pKa2 is equal to 8. So Ka2 is equal to 10 power minus 8, Ka3 is equal to 10 power minus 12. Right? So finally from the pH metric curve we could able to find out acid dissociation constants of triprotic acid. I mean first acid dissociation constant Ka1, second acid dissociation constant Ka2, third acid dissociation constant Ka3, which is 10 power minus 4, 10 power minus 8 and 10 power minus 12 respectively. Right? This is the first segment of this problem. In this first segment of the question, we could able to find Ka1, Ka2, Ka3 of triprotic acids by using the pH metric curve of triprotic acid versus strong base. Right? So now the task what I am assigning to you guys is find out pH of mixture of 4, 3, 2, 1 moles of H3PO4, NaH2A, Na2HA, Na3A respectively by using this data. Right? So you try on your own by pausing the video. After that I'll start explaining the concept. And that is most interesting question. Believe me, this is one of the best ionic equilibrium question. I'm sure you will enjoy it. Let us start solving the second segment and the most typical segment of this question. Right? Now, Ka1, Ka2, Ka3 already we have determined by using pH metric curve. First acid dissociation constant 10 power minus 4, second acid dissociation constant 10 power minus 8, third dissociation constant 10 power minus 12. Now let us consider the mixture of 4, 3, 2, 1 moles of H3A, NaH2A, Na2HA, Na3A. Right? Now, before solving this, I would like to give one important concept, which is the soul of entire this concept. Whenever you are taking two or more than two mixture of acids and bases of different strength, the strongest acid always will react with strongest base. Means first reaction in the mixer is strongest acid versus strongest base. Till that time, the strongest acid reacts with the strongest base. The other species will not interfere. Right? Means, sir, why sir strongest acid will react with strongest base? You must learn already about enthalpy of neutralization. Whenever two strong electrolytes reacts on strong acid, strong bases, they'll release more enthalpy of neutralization, which makes the reaction more spontaneous. Because delta H whenever becomes more negative, delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S. Delta G also becomes more negative, which makes the reaction more spontaneous. Right? So, the only concept which you need to learn here is the strongest acid always reacts with strongest base first in a mixer. Here they have given 4 species, let them give 40,000 species. We don't care. So, we will be taking only strongest acid always reacts with strongest base and then it goes on. Yes, as I told you, in the mixture of acids and bases, always the strongest acid and strongest base reacts first and then the trend will continue, right? So now, let us identify which is the strongest acid in the given mixer. There are 4 species given, H3A, H2A minus, Ha2 minus, A3 minus. Leave those sodium plus ions as a spectator ions. Now, I have like strongest acid which is H3A because whose Ka1 acid dissociation constant is 10 power minus 4 which is the highest, right? Then let us identify strongest base, right? So A3 minus will be a strongest base. You know when acid is weakest, its conjugate base becomes strongest. Now who is the weaker acid here? Ha2 minus is weaker acid because Ka3 is 10 power minus 12 which is very less. Means it is a weak acid whose conjugate base is A3 minus. Means A3 minus becomes strongest base. Let us take this combination. So strongest acid is H3A, strongest base is A3 minus. So now obviously this H plus ion it will transfer to A3 minus and it becomes H2A minus plus Ha2 minus. Now let us start the game. It's more interesting now, right? So initially they have given 4 moles of H3A, right? 1 mole of A3 minus and 3 moles of H2A minus, 2 moles of Ha2 minus. Now finally what will happen? So it's a basic thing again. So here 1 mole is a limiting reagent. Out of 4 moles it reacts with 1 mole and it becomes 3 moles. It becomes 0 which is the limiting reagent. And 1 mole of H2A minus and 1 mole of Ha2 minus will form. And finally it becomes 3 moles of H3A, 4 moles of H2A minus and 3 moles of Ha2 minus. Right? So now first reaction over. Now let us go to the next combination. Right? Next combination is what again? I have a strongest acid, but I don't have a strongest A3 minus. I don't have, right? Now next stronger base I have to consider. What is the next stronger base? Think over it. What is the next stronger base? That is, can you guys make a guess? Right? You're absolutely correct. That is Ha2 minus. Ha2 minus. So that is H3A now. Left over like excess, that is 3 moles and Ha2 minus and it forms 2 moles of H2A minus. Means H plus ion will transfer from this species to this species. It becomes 2 moles of H2A minus. Right? Good. So now final thing 0, 0 and 4 plus 2 moles forming, right? 1 mole of H3 reacting with 1 mole to form 2 moles. 3 moles will react with 3 moles. 2 into 3, so total 10 moles. So now finally, see how beautiful it is. Finally, in the solution you left with H2A minus as a major species, which is an amphoteric species. The amphoteric species means, you guys know, the one which can act as acid as well as base. Means which can release H plus ions and which can also accept H plus ions. Those kind of species are known as amphoteric species. Now, in our ionic equilibrium, we have a basic fundamental which is pH of amphoteric species, which you must be learning, you learned already. If still you are not aware of that pH formula for amphoteric species and the derivation, you please request in comment box. I will explain. I'll take a class on pH derivation for amphoteric species also, right? So now pH of amphoteric species always equal to average of 2 pKa's, pKa1 plus pKa2 divided by 2, right? So means whatever you have H2A minus, the H2A minus involved in first dissociation and second dissociation, right? It's Ka1 and Ka2, right? So in these two, that we will take it pH is equal to pKa1 plus pKa2 divided by 2. That is 4 plus pKa1 already we know, that is 4. pKa2 already we know, that is 8. 4 plus 8 divided by 2, that is equal to 6. Right? So finally, the pH of the mixer becomes 6. Right? Thank you very much. And we will solve previous year JEE advanced questions based upon this segment. Whatever we discussed till now, based upon this, what are the questions they have asked in previous JEE advanced? Let's go and crack it. Based upon the discussion, whatever we have, like the important things, whatever we learned from the previous question, let us solve some previous year JEE advanced question relevant to that. This model is most important and continuously they are asking in JEE advanced. Let us focus on this. So let us solve the question which they asked in JEE advanced 2020 as a numerical question. The question is, a solution of 0.1 molar weak base B is titrated with 0.1 molar of a strong acid HA. The variation of pH of the solution with a volume of HA added is shown in the figure below. What is the pKb of the base? The neutralization reaction is given by B plus HA gives rise to BH plus A minus. This is the pH metric curve where weak base and strong acid reacts together. So those who required this pH metric curves and those related concept, please comment in below. I will explain again separately this entire pH metric curves also. Let us solve this question. So if you consider pH, initially the pH started from around 13, where because weak base is available, obviously pH will be higher side. When you keep on adding acid to base, the pH starts falling because this weak base starts reacting with strong acid, converting into corresponding salt. Isn't it? Now, fantastic. Now, weak base during this titration is slowly converting into its corresponding salt. Means the unreacted weak base and the so formed conjugate acid will that combination serve as buffer. That's why if you observe carefully in that graph, initially the pH is decreasing slowly because of the formation of basic buffer which is formed due to the unreacted weak base and the so formed conjugate acid. Now, after reaching to certain point, suddenly pH sharply fall down. Right? There is a sharp fall in pH which indicates that the equivalence point reached, the neutralization point reached. Now, for that, if you take the equivalence point here, the sudden drop in pH, the volume corresponds to the sudden drop is, this is the sudden drop like whatever happened like here. This is the 6. Right? So now equivalence if you consider, final equivalence if you take it, right? Equivalence thing. Now 6 ml of, how much it is required? 6 ml of 0.1 molar and whose n factor is 1 only, means this many equivalents of strong acid required for the neutralization of the weak base. Meaning initially the weak base whatever you have taken is also equal to these many equivalents. Right? Now during this process, so what will happen is half equivalence point if you consider, then out of 0.6 equivalents, half equivalence point meaning what? 3 ml, right? 3 into 0.1 into 1 if you take it, and then half of the equivalents of this weak base reacted means which forms corresponding conjugate acid. Means relevant to this, it forms 3 into 0.1 into 1. So means 0.3 equivalents of BH plus 0.3 equivalents of B. Meaning weak base and corresponding strong acid formed. Right? Now, so that half equivalence point if you consider, this is the half equivalence point where if you consider 3 ml, right? 3 ml is the half equivalence point, and corresponding thing if you consider here, the pH is showing 11. Means we learnt already, in fact we have proven also from the pH metric curve that at half equivalence point, POH is equal to pKb, pH is equal to pKa. Means in case of acidic buffer, pH is equal to pKa we have discussed. It is a basic buffer where POH is equal to pKb plus log of salt by base we will take it. But salt and base equivalents are same at half equivalence point. That's the reason log term will be eliminated. So POH becomes equal to pKb. So POH is equal to 14 minus pH, that is equal to pKb, and then 14 minus the pH corresponding to half equivalence point already we have discussed from the graph, it is 11. So that is equal to pKb, then pKb value comes out to be 3. pKb value is 3. So answer is 3. That's all. In continuation to the previous question, let us solve the wonderful question which is asked in JEE Advanced 2022 as numerical question. Actually today, whatever the concept we have discussed, these questions we used to give 10 years back. So now JEE Advanced similar questions they are asking. So which is the evidence, right? So now let us start solving this question. The question is, a solution is prepared by mixing of 0.01 mole of each of H2CO3, NaHCO3, Na2CO3 and NaOH in 100 ml of water. pH of resulting solution. As usual, I have already explained this concept. Let them give mixture of species. I mean mixture of strong bases, weak acids. Let them give whatever the mixture. The soul of the concept remains same. What is that soul of the concept which we discussed? In a mixer, fantastic. A mixer, the strongest acid always reacts with strongest base first, and then remaining species will start reacting. Now let us identify what is the strongest acid and what is the strongest base. Let us go systematically step by step. NaCO3, Na2CO3 and NaOH in 100 ml of water, pH of the resulting solution. So pKa1, pKa2 of H2CO3 are 6.37 and 10.32 respectively. Log 2 value also they have provided 0.3. Fantastic. Let us consider the strongest acid in the mixer, which is H2CO3, carbonic acid, whose pKa1 is 6.37, which is less. Whenever pKa is less, acidic strength is more. Now H2CO3, first H plus ion it will release more, and out of all the 4 species, can you guess it which is the strongest base? Yeah, you are absolutely correct. It is sodium hydroxide. So OH minus ion it will react. I am just not considering the spectator ions which are Na plus ion.
right? So OH minus ion will takes up this and it forms HCO3 minus, and this OH minus captures H plus ion from this and it forms H2O, right? So now this is the first reaction takes place in the given mixer, which is strongest acid among all the given species, carbonic acids, first acid dissociation, and then it reacts with OH minus ion. Now initial number of moles, initial milli equivalents we can take it, or moles you can consider, anything like it's fine, right? So now whenever you are taking 0.01 moles of H2CO3 and then NaOH 0.01 mole and then HCO3 minus, already you have got 0.01 mole, right? So now final thing it becomes 0. This one 0, 0, and then in addition to this 0.01 another mole will be added. So it becomes total 0.02 moles, right? So now the combination is, so here HCO3 minus total given is 0.01 moles. After the reaction between H2CO3 and OH minus ion, it formed another 0.01 mole, put together total 0.02 moles. In addition to that, what is the other species we left with? 0.0 mole HCO3 minus and then CO3 2 minus, right? So thing is here the combination of now 0.01 mole of you have got CO3 2 minus plus 0.02 moles of HCO3 minus. Finally, we left with 0.01 mole of CO3 2 minus, which is originally present in the solution, plus 0.02 moles of HCO3 minus, out of which 0.01 has been produced from this reaction, right? So now this combination, this mixer will serve as acidic buffer, because here it is a combination of weak acid HCO3 minus bicarbonate and conjugate base which is carbonate, so which is an acidic buffer with respect to bicarbonate. So now it will serve as acidic buffer. Now according to Henderson's equation, which we know that pH of an acidic buffer is given by pH is equal to pKa plus log of salt, or you can say here conjugate base to the acid, right? Now one important thing which you need to apply here who is acid, can you tell me now? Who is weak acid here? Weak acid is bicarbonate, means which you need to consider HCO3 minus as an acid. So HCO3 minus dissociation is Ka2, second dissociation constant of bicarbonate you have to consider. So that's the reason when you are considering here, when you are writing Henderson's equation, you have to substitute like this: pH is equal to pKa2, because bicarbonate dissociation you have to consider, second dissociation constant you have to take it. So now pKa2 plus log of salt is, which is our salt conjugate base, you have to take it, that is 0.01 mole divided by our weak acid bicarbonate is 0.02 moles, right? Now pKa2 already they have given in question. What is the they have given? What is the value they have given? Tell me now what value they have given pKa2. pKa2 is 10.32. 10.32. Just substitute here, you will get the answer. So now when you are taking this pKa2, this is 10.32 plus log of 1 by 2, that is 10.32 minus log 2, that is equal to 10.3 minus 0.33. Yeah, so they have given already log 2 value. So that's what we are substituting. That is 10.02. So final answer is pH of that mixture is 10.02. This is the answer.
Right, thank you very much.